Hey there, happy Friday. Um, this video, by the time you'll see it, is Friday. Actually, I'm going to upload it as soon as I finish, but happy Friday. Just wanted to drop in. Oh, shoot. Just what you see is really what you get, honestly, with me. Um, it is. I don't edit these videos because that's more work, more time, and I like to be my authentic self. Like I really do. Like I like to show up when I have something on my mind. But yeah. Before I get into that, if this is your first time on my channel, I am Jill Morris Smith, Jill Smith, also known as the Savvy Servant, also known as a nonprofit expert. So if you're trying to start a nonprofit or grow your existing nonprofit, this is definitely the channel you want to hang out on, because I primarily serve those nonprofits and servant leaders who have had their nonprofits for 5 years or less. And it is my mission to help you all with your missions to position your nonprofit so that you can compete for that big grant funding, that six-figure grant funding. So you got to get it right in the beginning, or close to the beginning as possible. So if you did some things and you made some mistakes and you're not getting the results you want, um, this is where you want to be, because I'm going to help you correct some things and get some things in order so that, yeah, you can be impactful and don't have to stress about money. All right. Um, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. I've been doing some videos for the last couple of days. Ooh, my left hand is itching. Somebody said that means, some people say it means money. I thought the right hand means money, but and then some people say your left hand means a good letter. So I'm receiving either one. But thank you all. When I announced a couple of weeks ago that I was going to spend some more time here at the Savvy Servant, I got a very, very warm welcome back. It's not that I don't want to do the Savvy Servant. I love doing the Savvy Servant. I love serving the nonprofit industry, but we got these other projects going on. As I said, we're doing real estate. I was a real estate agent in Maryland, DC, and Virginia for nearly 10 years ago. And so getting back into it, into another city, into this new city, is work, because, yeah, North Carolina is not an easy market to break into. My husband is already in real estate. So I'm joining him. We're partnering together, because that's why God brought us together. We're purpose partners, and so he don't know nothing about no nonprofits and stuff, and but he see that this is my passion, so he supports it. And to be quite frank with you, this is the space where I can be totally me, myself. Don't have to consider him, but I could give, do my passion, and because he don't know nothing about nonprofit stuff, and so I could, speak freely and what I know, and be have a space of my own, and so I love that, and he supports it 110%. He encourages it, and so thank y'all for the warm welcome back and inviting me into these Facebook groups and tagging me and saying this is the person you need to listen to, and those who are also interested in partnering with me. As I said in the previous video, your gifts will make room for you, and so it's been really an effortless venture here. And when you know what you know, you can just do what you know, and God will definitely make room for you. He will bring, the word says he will bring great men to you. So thank y'all for giving me a warm welcome, welcoming me back, so to speak, and supporting my business. Like, y'all don't have to do that. So thank you so much. Now, let me tell you something real quick before I get into my subject. On the flip side of that, even the best of the best in your area, of expertise, in your gifts, you will question, if you have what it takes, or if you know what you're talking about. And I've talked about this many times in the last years. But even though I like to believe that I'm the best out there, sometimes I do feel like I don't know enough, or I need to brush up on some things. But so that is very normal. I just want to to throw that out because I was having a conversation with someone and they were, this whole imposter syndrome thing. I didn't understand what it was. I'm understanding what it is a little bit more, but the best of the best, also have those days where they feel like they don't know enough and and they want to quit. Don't. That's what continuing education is all about. You can always brush up on some things, as I do often, and so yeah. All right. So today I want to talk about y'all. I mean, I was working with a client the other day, an ongoing client, and we're gearing up for giving season, which is in November, and look, we're going into the third quarter. Like, I need to know what are your, what's your plan, for giving season. And she was like, "Oh, Jill, I hate asking for money." And what I'm about to tell you all on, do this if you hate asking for money. She already has this in place. But even still, some people just hate asking for money, and I get it. Before I talk about, what you should do if you don't like asking for money for your nonprofit. Um, uh, yeah, you can be that nonprofit that just focuses on grants, and I encourage you to do so. And by all means, I encourage you to go ahead and check out my grant proposal template. It's a video tutorial. It gives you step by step what to do, how to write that grant proposal, and what the government is looking for. So, what not to do. I tell you what not to do in those grant proposals. And so, I definitely encourage you to check out that product. I'll put the link in the bottom. Um, what did I want to say about that grant proposal? It has a great success rate. Something I wanted to say. I don't know. But on the flip side of that, let me tell you something. You cannot just rely on grants. You just can't. First of all, so that you know, 75% of all giving comes from individual donors, and a third of your revenue must come from the public. So you can have this tunnel vision of, I'm going to get a grant, I'm going to get a grant. Yes, you want to do that, especially when you're growing and you need to expand and have a farther and a deeper reach in your community. Yes, you need those grants. But realistically, in the beginning, you got to hit the pavement, and you have to hit up and get your donor database up, because you got to go after those individual donors. All right, so that's the subject today. I want to talk about is you need to be doing these things if you are afraid to ask for money for your nonprofit. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. When I put this chapstick on a few minutes ago, I dropped the cap. And I'm one of those people, I don't know if you like me. I'm one of those people, if I drop a French fry, one fry, it's going to mess up all of the other hundreds of fries in the pack. Like, and I dropped the top, and my focus is, where did the top go? Like, sometimes like I'm that person. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, where did the top go? I'll get it, but I'm just telling y'all what's on my mind. Anyway, so you need to know that is that 75% of all giving is from individual donors. And so if you do not have an individual donor plan in place, fundraising plan in place, you need to do that. You need to get on the ball, because why? You are leaving money on the table if you do not. So with anything you're doing, there is a strategy. There is definitely a strategy. And so I just wanted to give you some points you need to be doing. I say do this in the title, but this is really doing these things. First thing you need to understand is that when you talk about fundraising, I don't care if it's grants, I don't care what type of fundraising you're doing, you have to do it with the intention of building relationships. Because if you do not build relationships, nobody's gonna want to fund you first and foremost. So when I teach my clients of how to fundraise and how to put their fundraising plans in place, I tell them to think of it as friend raising. You're gonna build relationships first before you ask anybody for money. You're going to build some relationships first. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to encourage you to do is change your perspective in how you ask and how you need to ask. So, for a lot of nonprofits, I see it all the time. A lot of nonprofits go and beg for money, even after they have built the relationship. They take on this stance and this position, especially on social media, like they're begging for money. Please, 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 please give me $10. Please give us, $25. We're trying to raise money for X, Y, and Z. Please, please, please. That is not the position you want to take. For one, your nonprofit is in place to offer a solution. You are the answer to the victim's problems. You are not the victim. So you have to first position yourself as a victor. You're the one with the solutions. You're the one with all the answers to fix the problems that you said you're going to fix in the community. So you need to come boldly in front of your audiences, in front of these people that you've built relationships with, in front of these people that you want to build relationships with. I don't care who it is. You got to come with some authority. And even that needs to come across in your grant proposal, which is the reason why I'm not trying to pitch the grant proposal, but I am. That's the reason why my template, it has the position in the wording and the content, because you're coming as the authority. Let me school you on some things. Did you know that this is happening in your community? And that's how the position you also want to take, even on social media. Do you really realize that in Landover, Maryland, X, Y, and Z is taking place? This is the statistics. And so you want to come as the one that's in authority. Your nonprofit has the solutions. Yes, you need money to expand and to reach, but at the beginning, you the one that have the solutions. Your nonprofit is the one that have the solutions. So you want to come across as the victor, as the one that is here to help. And so you never want to go on any type of platform or in any type of proposal begging. That's not what you want to do. That's a turn off in itself. Like, how you gonna help me, or how you gonna help my loved one, or how you gonna help my neighbor if you come across begging? Like, that's not what you want to do. So you first want to well, secondly, you want to change your position and how you are about to ask for some money. I don't know if this is these kind of not in order, but well, they are in order, but I kind of just like misnumbered them. But I think the third thing you want to do, you want to focus on the program. So before you even go out and tell anybody about your programs. I always, and if any of you who have taken my nonprofit courses, I always say build that first program first, that first most cost effective, easiest program first. Now, the program can be an activity, event, or a service, but you want to build a program first that doesn't cost a lot of money. So perhaps if you're doing, say, women's empowerment, maybe you want to just start off with an activity first. Maybe you want to have an activity where you get together every month and I don't know, make pottery. I don't know. Maybe that's some type of, I don't know, morale booster. I don't know. But the point is you want to do something that's easy breezy first, because you want to build traction. You want to build traction. You want to build success stories. You want to build outcomes. And so that is needed in grant proposals, but is also needed when you go to ask, or you go to put yourself out there, or your organization out there of needed money. When you're asking for money, you should not be asking for the nonprofit as a whole. You should be asking on a project or program basis. I would say let your program have a project that they're needing to fundraise for. Say if you're women's empowerment, say if you want to raise money for your women's empowerment activity. Say your activity is, doing pottery every month. That's the activity. And say you need to, I don't know, you need some paints for that activity. You need some paints and some clay. then that is a project you want to ask money for. You need you're putting you know, but when you go out to ask, you want to say, in the last 60 days, this is what we've empowered this amount of. Now this is a stretch because it's hard to measure empowerment, but I'm using this as an example. You want to say something like, in the last 60 days, we have empowered um, uh, um, 25 women in our pottery classes every month. And, since then, out of the 25, 16 of them have started their own businesses. And it's because of your support and it's because of our donor support that, we're able to have these outcomes. And so if you want to partner with us, if you want to make a donation, we're kindly asking for $25 or $100 or whatever that amount is, so that we can expand our program, or so that we can do XYZ for the program, so that we can buy more paint, so that we can buy more pottery, so that we can get our own location, so that we can, I don't know, whatever you want to use the money for. The point is you want to talk about outcomes, and you want to say what you're using the money for, because that makes a difference. And then you want to continuously show success stories on your on your websites, on your social media, really on your social media, on an ongoing basis. Your ask for donations should not outweigh your success stories. If you got more donor requests out there, donation requests and solicitation for money out there more than you have success stories, you need to definitely come and see me, because you are definitely out of balance and you're turning people off. You're turning people off. People want to know where their money is going to. Not only that, they want to know that their money is working. And so you want to do these things. You want to do these things before you start asking for money. Let me try to put them in number order. One, you want to build friendships. You want to build, I say friend raising. You want to go in the mindset of building relationships. People give when they are triggered in their heart to give. All right. They don't, people who going to give, a lot of people who give to you right now is because they want to stop, they want you to stop asking. But you got to go into it with building relationships. So that's the first thing, with the mindset of building relationships, or the motive of building relationships. Two, you want to change your perspective. You want to come across as the solution, as the victor in this in your nonprofit. You don't want to come across as you're a begging victim, like the victims. I'm a victim trying to serve a victim. You don't want to come across like that. You want to come across very confident that your nonprofit and your programs are providing solutions. Three, you want to focus on perfecting that program. All right. So if you don't have outcomes, before you go out and ask for some money, get you some success stories. All right. And then four, you want to start putting those success stories out there. You want to have more success stories out there than you do having solicitations for some money. Like, you want to put those success stories. And when people see that you're doing some good things, not only will they want to give, they want to know, how can I support? Let me tell you something. These days, like millennials and Gen Zers, they're more to want to do good and jump on your project to help, like physically, like in person, or provide services, instead of giving money. And those weigh very, very heavy and are very beneficial. But the overall point is, you ain't got a choice. You gotta ask. You gotta ask for money, because that's your largest donor. That's your largest revenue source. And so you got to get comfortable. But there is a strategy. You put these things in place, I promise you, it's going to be much easier for you to ask. And a lot of times, you're not even going to have to ask. A lot of times, it's going to, you're gonna have those ongoing. And if you have a system in place that you can collect ongoing donations, that would be wonderful as well. Because the best thing you can do is when you're asking, you ask someone, can they become a monthly and ongoing donor? And it would be it's a great thing to have someone automatically every single month, giving you $25, $50 every single month, just because they love your outcomes. They love what you're doing. And so that is the goal. The goal is to get ongoing donors, where you ain't got to beg for money, where you're having successful outcomes, where you're really impacting the community and not just saying this is what you want to do. You want to really do it. All right. And I know you may have great intentions, but sometimes it doesn't come across like that. So I hope this helps. I'm always here if you need some additional support. We can try to figure out a way that I can provide some. I'm still trying to figure out how I can take on some more one-on-one clients, but I am offering group coaching, as well as one-time consultations. So if you want a one-time consultation, I'll put the link at the bottom. One time, 1 hour, I'll give it to you for $47. That's probably better, like a one time, and that even is, even just that one time is very beneficial as well. So I'll put that link as well at the bottom, if you want to take that option. All right. I hope you are having a blessed Friday. All right. And so I could take this old goofy mic off now, because it, I love lapel mics. They don't always work, like as far as, they're a little droopy, but I love lapel mics. My husband and I use lapel mics, with this lapel mic, when we're doing our YouTube videos on our channel. But I love lapel mics. I just love them. But sometimes they get a little awkward. But yep, so that's it for me. You all be blessed. Have a great weekend, and I'll come back next week and drop you some more um, assistance and tips and tricks and uh, strategies, so that you can be properly positioned to get all that funding you need to get, so that you can impact communities and change lives. All right. You be blessed, and I will check in with you next week. Bye bye.